Dartmouth is a team that has been tough for you over the last decade or decade or so.
Yeah, since I've been here.
But to get through this game, even if it wasn't the prettiest game, what does that do for you to set you up with two to play?
I told the team at the end, it's like, hey, you never apologize for a win. Like, especially against those guys. Number one. Number two, you feel like, I said, ask the band of those guys who Dean Smith was. Were you in there? You know who Dean Smith is, right? And he had the four corners offense. You know, they were playing such deep coverage, and it forced you to go 6 yards, 4 yards, be patient, be patient, be patient. I thought we did that. We should have done better, you know, and they got us in the red zone a couple times, which hurt us, but we were great between the 20s, and just, I don't know what time the possession was. It probably was pretty, 36 to 23. That was pretty awesome. And we did it without two starting in the line.
Yeah. So you hit the two scores early to go up 14-0, but then you didn't get much offensively.
We did. We didn't do well in the red zone.
Yeah.
We had the fumble. We had a couple of drives where, you know, going from 10 to 13 isn't analytically smart. You know, so you want to make it 17, and we went forward and got it.
You talk about the short passes. What about AJ's game? I think he has the 7 catches. Seems like he's really progressing.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of a pick your poison with those guys. Dylan had a great game. AJ had a great game. Andre, they bracketed a lot, you know, so it was harder to get him the ball. But that's okay, like, if you have other weapons. You know, and Blake, to his credit, doesn't listen to the I'm open, you know, because they're all really good. Hey, they're all really good, right?
Yeah, right. They're all open.
Yeah, so you just make your read, and he does a good job of that.
He made some nice runs, I think.
Yeah, we used him in the run game early pretty well.
What about the defense? It's kind of bend but not break. They contained the running game pretty well.
Yeah, I think they had the one big run. The second half, I think it was. Yeah, the 20-yarder that they're.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And other than that, you know, we really did a good job containing him. Other than the scrambles that we got to do, obviously. I've seen some tape of Yale on other teams. And their quarterbacks, like the guy at the end, he's gonna make you keep your rush lanes. We didn't do a good job of that.
What about Uche's game? It was good to see him get that big sack.
Oh my God!
He's been out. He was out one game, I guess.
Yeah. No, I thought Uche. I thought Jester had a big one early. You know, our pressure. Aubrey had one late. You know, Cole's been. I said, like, he's the best player with no stats. He gets so close. Some of those interceptions are totally Cole forcing pressure.
Yeah, because he had more stats last year.
It's not showing up in the stats. And, you know, speaking of sick, like Coach Barber just walked by. He had a severe case of flu. He wasn't on the field. He was in the press box. And I thought our defensive staff really helped out. Like, he could barely talk. Yeah. You know, that's what it is, you know. Jalen Travis is probably an all-league tackle. Nick Baston is awesome. You know, guys are stepping up when we have an injury.
What about the? I don't know if you heard their score with Brown. They won 69-17.
Oh.
So what are your thoughts? You've seen them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I haven't watched them in pair, but you know, what you see is a very athletic team. The quarterback's playing. They were on TV a couple of weeks ago. And I saw that, and he was outstanding. They are playing really well defensively up front. They rush the passer. You know, I'm gonna have to break them down in detail.
Right, for sure.
There's a reason. You know, there are 2 games left, and there's a few teams still in the hunt.
Does the experience, having kind of been in this position before, where you're 2 games ago, you're going for the league title, help you that you're kind of your front runner right now?
The experience of this year, going to work every day, helps more than anything. Right, you know, the experience of preparation that our guys have showed this year. Like, we just got to keep doing that part of it. You know, come up with good game plans, prepare them on those. The players do the work, and then execute them. And you do that, it doesn't mean you're going to win. It means that maybe you'll win.
Coach, you mentioned the offensive line, guys like Nick Bass and Henry Bird. It looked like they had a good night against a tough Dartmouth front.
I was really impressed, you know, how well, Nick comes in, not having started. He played every game, but hadn't started a game in his career. He played terrific. We rotate centers, but Blake Fugenspan was down. Tommy Mathewson, excellent. You know, Henry's been steady Eddie all year playing high-level football. I thought that was really good.
It seemed like Butler kind of got rolling as the game went on. Do you think he just kind of wears people down with his runs? Or?
Yeah, he's a physical runner. So
you talk about the angry
I
crowd.
do. Yeah, he's a physical runner that way. I thought our run game in general was really physical, and we needed it to be because they were playing so much too high.
What about things to clean up from the day?
And even that last drive that we had on offense where there was like 11 minutes and change left, and they got the ball with, that drive ate up about 8 minutes, and it was one run after short pass after run, like from the 20 all the way to their 20. That was really important.
Big field was not a bad play, even if you don't get it.
Yeah,
still a 2-score lead, and they're starting.
It was 4th and like 17 because of the sack, which really hurt us. And you just at that point, they had not thrown the ball down the field. We could get it to, even if they score, all we do have to do is cover an onside kick. We had too many penalties that last drive. Like the penalties in the second half. I think we played a clean first half. We come out second half, first drive, or whatever, face mask, or the second quarter, I should say, face mask, tripping, like weird penalties that we have to avoid.
What are the things that you think you need to clean up?
That part, we have to be more, we have to be more disciplined with that.
Coach, Nick Howard was out tonight for Dartmouth. They usually use 2 quarterbacks. Did that change anything for you guys defensively? What's
interesting is with Kyler, they used Kyler in a way that was much different last year. And he and Howard were like, Howard was in, like we had Chad Kanoff and John Lovett, that's how they used him. This year they played 2 quarterbacks, but Howard dropped back to pass. Ken Cadwallader, he would do some different things in the run game. So it was a little bit easier to know that they weren't going to, they were running their offense with Howard this year, as opposed to last year where they were really 2 different offenses.
I think you're almost there.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a team that's given you trouble in the past. How important was it to not, in a way, get caught looking ahead?
I think it wasn't trouble at all. I think knowing our team, we were very focused on the here and now. The next game, we say, we're 0-0 each week. Just kind of stack the weeks on top of each other. I think this is a team that we've had a long history with. And I think, no one was looking ahead, and, everybody's looking right now to Dartmouth, and tomorrow everybody's looking to Yale, and that's kind of how it goes.
What about the defensive end? It seemed like you contained the running game pretty well for most of the game. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I think we, have a really great run-stopping defense overall. I think it's just about consistency for us. A lot of respect to the opponents. I think that's some good running backs, some good linemen, but I think we just, kind of found a way to get the job done.
When you talk about setting the tone, you come out 3 and out to start the game, they punt it, your offense goes down and scores. How does that change a game even early on when you can do that?
It definitely feels great. I think there's a lot of momentum on our side, but I think momentum can also be a killer if you don't, respect your opponent and think that just because you have a few good drives, you're going to win the game. So I think, we just tried to keep the same energy for the rest of the game, and how to get out.
It was a little uneven after the first quarter. It was a little bit back and forth.
Yeah.
Were you concerned there?
I don't think we were ever concerned. I think I trust our guys. They're a Division I football program. Have had a lot of success over the years. So we don't expect to just really beat everybody, wipe them out. But at the end, I think the score proves who's a better team at the end of the day. So.
What about your sack? What did you see on that play? Big sack in the fourth quarter.
Tackle came down on me. I was coming off one of my other teammates, and I just kind of hit a stiff arm and tried to see what opened up, and he had an outside shoulder open, so I just kind of wrapped it around. Yeah.
How about the secondary a little bit? Guys like C.J. Wall, Michael Rutland, they had a good game today. Can you just talk about that group?
Our secondary is great. I think C.J. is one of the few people who's been here longer than me on the team, so everybody loves and trusts him. I think nobody was surprised the way he came out this season. He's been huge for us. Rut is also a captain, great leader on our defense. I think he's leading the league in picks. Last time I checked, so great people to have, makes our job a lot easier.
So this was the first time you didn't get a takeaway. Did it almost feel weird to not get one?
We were saying that, we love winning that takeaway battle.
You've been doing it consistently.
So we were looking forward to that, but I think, like I said, you're always playing Division I opponents at this level. They played a tight game, didn't throw the ball away. I think, emphasize that next week, punching out, wrapping up, being better. I think there are so many things, we still won this game, but there's so many things we can work on. So, takeaways are just one of them. So.
What about your role in the defense this year as a captain, and like you said, with all your experience, and what how would you describe your role for this team?
You know, I think I'm just another guy in the machine, really.
Okay.
We have a lot of great players on this defense, really. A lot of really talented guys. A lot of guys that I respect so much, and you know, make me feel so much more confident. You know, when I'm playing, I just try to, you know, rally the troops and get everybody excited to come out.
What about that Yale matchup? I mean, that's been a great rivalry over the years. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I'm going to have to dive into the film a little bit more this week. I've seen some of their defense. You know, I respect their D-line, have a good edge out there, good interior. You know, respect their O-line, have been playing well. You know, but I have to really dive into the film this week.
The first half, you had 5 catches there. Are you starting to see the ball more?
You know, the scheme that Coach Willis puts in, there's not really any time that you know if you're going to get the ball or not. The ball just happened to find me in the first half, so I just had to execute, focus on the fundamentals.
What's that been like just throughout the course of the year, going from return specialist to somebody who's now more involved in the offense?
Yeah, so it was JoJo Hawkins. He went down, and it's just that next man up mentality. When my name was called, I was ready because all the preparation we do, all the preparation we do, so I was ready.
You're kind of in the slot a lot. Is that a position you've played in the past?
Yeah,
you're able to just kind of slide right in?
Yeah.
Early in the game, you turned a quick hitch into a 20-yard gain, some yards after catchability. What did you see on that play?
Honestly, from watching their film, we knew that their safeties weren't the greatest tacklers, so just one move and live with it, and having to work for me.
It seems like that Brown game may have been a turning point for you getting a touchdown. Did that give you a lot of confidence?
It did give me a lot of confidence.
I mean, Coach was talking about how he thought you really stepped up.
Yeah. You know, getting a touchdown at this level is much different from what it is in high school and whatnot. So catching my first varsity touchdown as a Princeton Tiger was really meaningful to me. It gave me the confidence to like step up and fulfill the role that I need to fulfill.
How about just when you have the ball in your hands in open space? What's your mindset like? What are you looking to do?
1-man miss, 2-man miss, and get as much as I can. Score.
What about the influence of your father on your development as a player? What has that been like? How does he help you?
I mean, he gives me little snippets before the game,
Really?
little words of encouragement, but at the end of the day, he knows that I'm my own person, and he knows that.
Is there any piece of football advice that is stuck with you?
From him?
Yeah.
The biggest one is probably ball security.
High and tight, right?
Yeah,
High and tight, right. Yes.
My first game,
You learned that the hard way.
my first game as a returner, I had 2 fumbles. So he texted me after, or he was at the game. So he pulled me aside. He's like, AJ, when you have the ball in your hands and you know you're about to take a hit.
Right.
And been working for me since then.
What about being in a receiver group with Andre and Dylan? What is that? How does that help you?
You know, they're really good guys to look up to. Like their work habits and the way that they execute everything on the field, off the field, is really, really a good role model.